we are temporarily back to the phone format, so I won't be able to pull up things on the screen all fancy-like while we're getting adjusted. The good news is there is new stuff coming in the way of technology, which would mean that theoretically soon things will be very, very well and will be good to go. I'm very excited to be diving into this week of news with you. I'm very, very excited to announce officially, well, not officially, the talks are official, but we've got a Moon Knight. We're going to talk about that today. We've got Jon Stewart coming back to television, which I'm very excited about. Shang-Chi wraps as Spider-Man 3 rolls. Lots and lots of goodness. And a brand new Batwoman suit, which I think is a leaps and bounds improvement. So, it is Tuesday, and there is a jarring amount of news. I am very, very excited to dive into all of this. I do see in the tiny print on my phone that something just broke, so I'm gonna read that as we dive in. Let's see, MK Songbird is telling me, breaking, Mohamed Diab has been tapped to direct Moon Knight, the Marvel series for Disney Plus, based on the comic book hero from Deadline. That's exciting. Deadline is very credible. Is that the pilot? Because I imagine they're going to have different directors for different episodes, but I could be wrong, because they are effectively making these 8-hour movies. So either a pilot order, which is huge because the pilot director shapes the flavor of the show, and they also get royalties for the duration of the show, which is a rad little, not secret, but a rad little perk of directing a pilot for a show. So I'll have to look into that, but either way, I do not know Mohamed Diab's work, but congratulations to Mohamed Diab. That is very exciting. Now we have a director. We theoretically have a Moon Knight. Now, the only reason I'm saying theoretical, let's dive right into Moon Knight. The only reason I'm saying theoretical is we had thought we had Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk, and we then heard from her we did not. Now, we've not had word from Marvel official whether or not any of that is true. She could have been told she needed to say it wasn't a thing. It could be a situation where Tatiana Maslany hadn't signed on the dotted line yet, so legally she couldn't claim it. There's a lot of variables. We could still very well have Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk, but I don't want to count our eggs till they hatch with this Oscar Isaac news because of that. Now, Marvel came out and they announced that Miss Marvel was cast. Like, we found out through Marvel that we had a Miss Marvel. So until there is an official statement, even Deadline and Variety sometimes jump the gun, so I want to keep eyes peeled on that. All of those caveats aside, I've given every caveat possible. It would seem that Oscar Isaac is officially our Moon Knight. Now, this is exceptional news for a myriad of reasons. On the personal actor side, I always want what's best for the actor, and poor Oscar Isaac, man, he got screwed with Apocalypse. He got screwed with the way they treated Poe Dameron. He started out as one of the leads and stayed a lead, but they didn't let him play the character the way he wanted to, and the dude got franchise fatigue out the ass. He even said he didn't want to do more franchises. So that, to me, says not only did Disney sweeten the deal for the actor, that also says the script is good. This is worth Oscar Isaac coming back to a franchise to do. This is huge. Now, this is also a gift to us, the audience. Beyond Oscar Isaac getting to come back to a franchise, hopefully being righted those two giant wrongs. He's already in the Disney family with Star Wars. It makes a lot of sense. Let's fix this. Now, we also get an actor of Oscar Isaac's caliber playing Mark Spector. Now, if you haven't seen Ex Machina, if you haven't seen Sicario, if you haven't seen, I mean, he's good in my favorite of the Star Wars sequel trilogy. He's an incredible actor in everything he pops up in, and he's always captivating as hell. Even in like the what was that Netflix movie he did with the soldiers? The movie itself was only okay, but Oscar Isaac, being an actor of his caliber, was able to make his role sing, and that's what you need with something as dense as a genre content. Not Sicario. Triple Frontier was the word I was looking for. Sicario, he is not in. I remember seeing Sicario 2 and thinking he'd be good for a third one because he fits in that world. Apologies, he's not in Sicario, to my knowledge. Triple Frontier was the one I was looking for. He made that very surface film elevate, and that is very impressive. He is a genius actor. I'm very excited. He's also brilliant in Annihilation with very, very little screen time. He's able to do a lot with a little, and you need someone of that repute to play a character like this. Now, what I think they should do, and what I think they are doing, is I think we're getting Mark Spector Frenchie, who they're going to have to play with because of the boys, and, you know, I don't know how true to the comic they're going to be because the comic has so many different mythologies and formats and writers having their hands on it. But I think they're going to have multiple personalities for Mark Spector, and I think they're going to be played by different actors. Now, this is something I've been saying for 5 or 6 years, since a movie fight forever ago. I've been saying that we really, really need to have a Moon Knight that's played by multiple actors, and then that leads to a moment where they all unite. And I think that we're getting a Daveed Diggs, Nick Kroll, Oscar Isaac, and maybe 1 or 2 more Mark Spector that are going to come together as Moon Knight at the end of the pilot, or maybe in the second episode, where you realize all these characters have different personalities. There's also a chance they might do voices in the head. They could have Nick Kroll voicing a character. They could have Daveed Diggs voicing. But I really honestly hope it's a physical manifestation where there's a disassociative disorder that is manifested in multiple characters, a la many, many poor twist movies where they're like, they're all the same guy, but Moon Knight can do this properly. We can actually address mental illness, which they're doing with Scarlet Witch, and we can actually go forward with this where different actors playing one character can actually make sense in canon, having Oscar Isaac as the main one. And again, his talent as an actor is essential for that, because you're going to want him back on screen, you're going to want him to spearhead this whole thing, and Daveed Diggs is a genius. Nick Kroll is an incredible comedian. They have a lot of presence on screen, so no matter how much screen time they get, they can balance all of the above and really make this role sing. So I'm very excited. As of this moment, Oscar Isaac is listed on IMDb as Mark Spector Moon Knight for 5 episodes, 6 episodes. This isn't confirmation because anyone can update IMDb, but this does lend some credibility to it being a real thing. But this dude, like seriously, he is such a fascinating actor. Like I said, Annihilation, even Suburbicon, which isn't that great of a film, he's great in. Ex Machina, he's a goddamn genius in. A Most Violent Year. He's got so many great roles that are subdued and powerful, and you need that for a character like Moon Knight. So, if you guys haven't seen, now, those are roles for Oscar Isaac. If you haven't seen Hamilton, obviously that's a great place to discover the glory of Daveed Diggs' work, but my favorite of Daveed's is Blind Spotting. I think Blind Spotting is one of the most important movies of the last few years. If Into the Spider-Verse hadn't come out that year, it would have been my favorite movie of the year, but Into the Spider-Verse is my entire childhood come to life. Blind Spotting will make you an instant Daveed Diggs fan. Also check out Clipped, check out his music. He's a genius. And then Nick Kroll, you know, Big Mouth and lots of other things. He's Nick Kroll. He pops up everywhere and he's very funny. So there's a lot to be said about this casting. This is probably one of the most exciting casting opportunities we've announced in a long time. Moon Knight is a character that I've wanted since Phase 2. He's a character that I thought was a pipe dream. I didn't think we'd get him. When they announced this, I was like, okay, now who's going to play him? I was shooting for like Shia LaBeouf, maybe Ben Foster, some of my favorites. And again, that's a multiple personality goal. I think Oscar Isaac was even beyond my realm of hope. I'd mentioned him as my Mr. Fantastic and my Moon Knight, but I didn't think either would happen because he doesn't do franchises anymore. So the fact that he's coming back for a franchise, the fact that he's working with Disney again, the fact that he's playing Mark Spector, this is truly incredible. I am so very excited. So, if you guys don't know any of these brilliant gents' work, do check them out. I think Moon Knight's going to be a real good time. A few people have tweeted at me and asked me what reading I'd recommend. I would recommend the David Finch Moon Knight. That's the artist. If you look at the new #1 that was around 2006, David Finch is the name you're looking for. I think Finch's Moon Knight is really incredible. There's also a Moon Knight where he is wearing a white suit, like a fitted suit with a white mask, and that's a really good jumping on point too. Look for the first issue where he's wearing that. These are all #1, so it's really hard to distinguish which #1, and you're not going to know the year by the cover. But look for the first issue of that costume and the first issue that says Finch on the cover. Those are the 2 runs I'd recommend for Moon Knight that are modern. Also, jumping back to the OG Moon Knight stuff in the 70s is a great opportunity to learn his origins, some of his older mythology. Obviously, at this point, we're not sure which mythology they're going to follow, so I'd recommend Finch. I'd recommend the crazy white suit. Those are the visual cues to which Moon Knight runs I think they're going to follow along with. I do think the mental illness and mental health conversation is going to be a through line through She-Hulk, through WandaVision, through Moon Knight. These are all characters that we can have this conversation about. Jennifer Walters controls her Hulk. So that's an interesting conversation versus the anger of the other Hulk. She's a lawyer. She's a genius. There's so many interesting attributes to what that mental control is. And then obviously Moon Knight has a dissociative identity disorder. So that's another whole conversation on top of WandaVision. So this is very, very exciting. I was right with the 2006. Ian is telling me in the chat, it's volume 5, so you're not going to be able to see volume 5 on the cover. That's why I say just look for number 1. Look for Finch number 1, and it was 06. So if you want to go to your comic store, say the 2006 run of Moon Knight, that's what you're looking for. In my humble opinion, he teams up with Cap in that run. He teams up with Spider-Man. You can look for those covers. Very, very excited overall. Guys, we're getting Moon Knight, and it's Oscar Isaac. This is exceptional news. I'm going to move on to the next thing because I could live on this news for an hour, but there is more news to be had. Moon Knight, Oscar Isaac, also potentially Daveed Diggs, also potentially Nick Kroll. Fantastic. We're living in a golden age of fiction because nonfiction is not as great. Over in the world of DC, we got our first look at both Red Hood and Batwoman. Now, Batwoman, we got a first look a little while ago with the Ruby Rose suit just put on Javisha, and it wouldn't look great. It didn't look great. I never liked the Ruby Rose suit all that much, and I am not that big a fan of Ruby Rose as an actress, so I don't mind this upgrade. I think this is going to be a really cool new Batwoman. I'm actually going to give it another chance because I didn't watch the new Batwoman after the Crisis. It wasn't for me. She's just not someone I enjoy watching. I think she is very specific in her acting, and that specificity is not my cup of tea. That said, I don't know this new actress's work, so I'm really excited for a new pilot for me. Season 2, Episode 1 is like a new pilot for Batwoman for me. The new costume looks exceptional. I think we're in for a very good new take on the character. I included the new costume in the image of the show. The graphic includes the costume. There's 2 official images out there. You can Google them. I think she looks great. I'm very excited for it. I think this is a great move. I love the ombre cape. I love everything about the modernizing the costume. I love the more muted colors. I think it's more realistic to both our world and a more believable comic book world. I think it's a great move. So we got a brand new costume for Batwoman, and we also got our first look at the Red Hood. Now, Red Hood. Wait, I have the name right? That's the other costume that came out. Yeah, the Red Hood's new costume. Also, very, very excited for it. I don't know why my brain thought I was misspeaking the word Hood, because there's also the Hood in Marvel, and I was like, no, this is DC. Red Hood, obviously the Robin who got killed and came back and has a very convoluted backstory. Either way, Walter Curran, who we had on our show, or is it Curran Walters? Now my brain just doesn't trust names. Curran Walters, maybe. He came on Collider Heroes, really sweet kid. He's now Red Hood. I'm very excited for the look of the costume. It's a great character in the comic books, as much as I can't remember the name. It's a great character in the comic books. It's a great mythology that follows Robin along, and the suit looks just like it does in the comics. It's very comic book accurate, and that is one thing the CW really strives for. They try to make it as modernized and adaptable as they can while still trying to be malleable to the world of the CW. So I'm excited for the Red Hood. I'm excited for where the CW goes forward. I don't personally watch all the shows, but these new images and these new costumes have me excited enough to pique my interest, which is a good sign. There's just so much content. I personally don't, but I'm very, very in for this Red Hood costume. Over in the world of real news, the real world, the tangible one, ours, Jon Stewart is back on television. Jon Stewart is one of my heroes. Jon Stewart is one of the most important people, in my opinion, in the history of journalism, of television, of pop culture. Jon Stewart changed what journalism and pop culture was, much the way that Hunter S. Thompson changed journalism in print. Hunter put himself into stories with gonzo journalism. Jon Stewart made politics approachable to children and adults alike. He also shut down Crossfire because it was a cesspool of hate. The man did so much for journalism. He changed Comedy Central. He changed an entire genre of television. And then he got out in 2015 before the world became what it is. And good for him. But we've missed him, and I would argue we've needed him. I think that the hosts we've had take up the mantle in his stead have done a great job. I think, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver is fantastic. I think Trevor Noah has done a great job making The Daily Show his own. The Trevor Noah Daily Show is a very different Daily Show than Jon Stewart's Daily Show, but I miss Jon Stewart as well as enjoying Trevor Noah. Jon Stewart coming back to TV is one of the biggest wins for me. This is I haven't considered getting Apple TV until this moment. Apple TV has been this concept of another show. Now I'm in. Apple TV, I might subscribe for Jon Stewart, and then I'll get to watch the Chris Evans show. Then I'll get to check out all the other things that people have been raving about on Apple TV. Jon Stewart is coming back for a current events weekly, I assume, hour-long show on Apple TV. I think it's going to be exceptional. I'm very, very, very excited. I also just got a Streamlab pop in. I want to check on that while I'm ranting and raving about the glory that is Jon Stewart. Let's see, we are loading here. So that's going to be on Apple TV. I think that's going to start very soon. I think we've needed Jon Stewart more than ever with the world falling apart. I think we need his voice. I think we need his passion. He's done so much off camera since. He's been working for like 9/11 campaigns and commissions. He's been trying to get the first responders health insurance and health coverage that they are way overdue on getting. He's done so much behind the scenes in the real world, so I'm very excited to see what we get from Jon Stewart on TV again. And selfishly, I very much need Jon Stewart on TV again. Jesus, new variant previews, Marvel vs. Aliens, which are ongoing titles. Immortal Hulk, Amazing Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Spider-Man Miles Morales, which teases one of the villains for Amazing Spider-Man 52. Gonna get some, if not all, of these variant colors. Jesus, that sounds awesome, and you actually told me something I didn't know was happening. I didn't know there was, I knew Alien was getting a crossover, because I know they've had that deal where Fox obviously is part of Disney now and that whole thing, but I didn't know there were variant covers coming. So listing all of these that I didn't know about: Immortal Hulk, Amazing Spider-Man, Wolverine, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Amazing Spider-Man 52, I hear is a big issue. This is very exciting news. I am all sorts of in. Yes, please, thank you. And Jesus is one of our Wednesday warriors. That man doesn't make it every week, but he makes it all the time to the physical comic store and picks up books. So that is freaking rad, and we thank him for it. So Jesus, thank you for the Streamlab. Also, thank you very much for supporting a local comic book store and picking up comics in print. That's how we get to keep reading them. That helps everyone. So yes, 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 thank you very much. So that is the world of TV that is also happening right now. I think that's all the stuff we have about the Jon Stewart update. I was going to move along over to Falcon and the Winter Soldier wrapped a little early. After taking a giant break from the world because of coronavirus, the Falcon and Winter Soldier show resumed filming, and it actually wrapped a week earlier than they had planned for it on the additional photography to finish out the season. So we are now wrapped on Falcon and Winter Soldier, which gives me a lot of hope we're going to start seeing these shows and getting announcements. So Shang-Chi wrapped yesterday, Falcon and Winter Soldier wrapped early, and Spider-Man 3 has started filming. So it feels, in LA anyway, like the world is still on pause. It feels like nothing is going on, but we have movement for new entertainment. Now, Falcon and Winter Soldier is a Disney Plus show. WandaVision, Disney Plus show. These are things engineered and made to be on TV. Us getting these shows on TV is oh so exciting. So we're going to have 8 hours of content of brand new stuff that has been filmed safely and carefully. And then Shang-Chi wrapping after its long pause. Very hopeful for things to get back to the movie theater at some point. I think we're going to be in for new content soon. That said, Spider-Man 3 has also started filming, and they announced it with a very cute Tom Holland video of him receiving the script on an iPad and promising not to spill any beans, and then either in jest or in reality, breaking the iPad, or at least the case, because he's Tom Holland. It's very cute. It's 58 seconds. It's basically just Tom Holland landing in Atlanta and being Peter Parker. That kid is Peter Parker in such specific, crazy ways. It's truly incredible. It's watching someone be a character that you admire your whole life is so interesting, because I've met so many actors and I can see the line where they become the character and like them as a person. But when I met Tom Holland, he was just Peter Parker. So I'm really excited, hopefully, for us to get to a more friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm hoping maybe after Spider-Verse, maybe down the line, Spider-Man 5, we can have a more grounded, friendly neighborhood. I doubt it. Escalation tends to be the thing. But I'm hopeful we get Spider-Man of the more contained variety, because I think that we haven't had Peter Parker in the friendly neighborhood setting. And Tom Holland is, it's not the extreme of the Andrew Garfield problem where they gave him garbage scripts. But I do think we're living in a time where we're going to want Tom Holland to get to play Peter Parker, not as Iron Spider. So hopefully after Spider-Man 3, whatever that may be, a lot of people are assuming Spider-Verse, myself included. A lot of people think it's leading to a Sinister Six, myself included. I think it's going to be an interdimensional multiverse Sinister Six. we will see, but I do think that's what's coming, and time will tell. But Spider-Man 3 has officially started filming. It actually started filming without the main cast about a week earlier. You might have seen a tweet of mine where I said, I think we're going to hear about Kraven soon. It's because I heard that they were starting to film. I think now that everyone's on set, we will now be hearing a Kraven announcement soon, because once you're filming outdoors, you can't really hide that stuff, and it's better to get ahead of it with a press release than have it leaked. So I think maybe this week we'll be getting a announcement for Kraven, and I'm very, very excited. To continue Jesus' thought, ran out of words for the chat, which I was going to say for the video game. I'm not going to spoil it. If you want to see it, look it up in the interwebs and view at your own risk. Intrigue. I don't know what video game goodness there is, but I am intrigued. Also, I am intrigued at Kate Bishop getting to join the game soon. That has been delayed again in the Marvel Avengers game, but I am patient because I am a bad gamer. It takes me forever to get through a game anyway, so I'm still very, very excited. Alright, so Falcon wraps, Shang-Chi wraps, Spidey starts. We found out this week that Blade, speaking of Marvel TV, was actually considered to be a television show before Mahershala Ali signed on. Now, Mahershala Ali is one of the best actors working today. He is commanding. His presence is like nothing else. And if anyone is going to possibly be able to even stand alongside, not replace, because that's impossible, stand alongside Wesley Snipes as Blade, it's Mahershala Ali. You need someone with so much gravitas and energy and interest, and I think Marshall's going to kill it. We found out at Comic-Con last year when he put that hat on and Hall H and surprised everybody. We were getting Blade. Not much has developed since, but there is now a conversation about it, which means hopefully we're announcing a director soon, and it was originally apparently going to be a TV show, but it's a film. We're getting a Blade film. Mahershala was saying that before he signed on, they were playing around with that idea of it being a TV show. It's going to be a Blade movie. To the best of my knowledge, it's going to be a phase late 4, maybe early phase 5 film. They might change it back to a TV show, but I doubt it. I don't know what that would look like with the R rating. It's probably going to be hard PG-13 because the way Marvel goes, I really hope we get an R-rated Blade, but I don't know. I think if we hear about Deadpool first, then maybe they can set the precedent. Deadpool's rated R, so Blade can be rated R. And we do have a little like Midnight Suns corner. We can maybe get Ghost Rider down the line. We get the more demonic side. But I really don't know if they do that because I don't think it could live on Disney+. I think it would have to live on Hulu. So if that's the case, I think a movie being rated R is much more likely than an R-rated TV show. Like a TVMA show, they wouldn't put Daredevil on Disney+. It wouldn't live there. That's just not how Disney+ is being run. They censored, what's her name's butt? Daryl Hannah's butt on Splash. And it was a butt. It was just a butt. And it wasn't even a sexualized butt. Disney's just very like... So I don't think we're getting anything R-rated, which makes me think if we're getting anything more intense, movie, because then it could live on Hulu. That said, time will tell. I know they put the uncensored Days of Future Past on Disney Plus recently. I don't think Logan could live there, but this is all the big new formatting thing, right? Like TV and film, that line's getting blurred. Where's all this stuff going to live? All of the questions, but I do think, to my knowledge, Blade will be a movie starring the great Mahershala Ali. It's just intriguing to hear that it was once considered as a show. Speaking of movies that are rated R and very intense and glorious, and I can't wait for them, James Gunn revealed that they gave him carte blanche freedom. They said they could do whatever he wanted with the Suicide Squad. He could kill anyone. No one is safe. All bets are off. It is very different than the Guardians because Guardians of the Galaxy are inherently good guys and the Suicide Squad are not, which lends me to believe at least one member of the Suicide Squad is going to kill another, which is very common in the comics. But it also made a lot of people think maybe Harley Quinn bites it. Now, personally, I think Harley Quinn is too much of a cash cow for DC. I think Margot Robbie loves the character too much. I think that they've made her their Deadpool, so I don't think they would be willing to risk that. But I do think that James Gunn saying that is very fun for the imagination as we go forward with these characters, because now the whole movie you're going to be like, who's going to go? I still think John Cena bites it and that his show is a prequel, or he seems to bite it and then his show is a spin-off. I do think that we are in for a really, really fun, different movie. I think that it's going to be a very James Gunn film. I think it's going to be way more super trauma insane than we've seen out of DC yet. And I do think we're going to get a lot of R-rated freedom that Disney wouldn't let them have. I think the reason DC was able to get James Gunn was they were like, here, all the stuff you couldn't do with the mouse, you can do with us. So I think we're in for a really, really fun Suicide Squad, and this new interview is fantastic. It's an Empire. Empire has a cover of all of the Guardians. It's rad. It's so cool to see everybody in costume. All of them in one image is just like so heartwarming, but it's also got new images inside. It's got them all in the same like transport truck. It's got a new image of Polka Dot Man who looks fantastic. It's got a ton of great stuff. So check out the Empire. I guess article is still what you call it, even if it's in an internet source. Check out the Empire article. I was trying to think of another word. But yeah, the Empire article is very intriguing. James Gunn is, I think, one of our more bold filmmakers. So him having freedom makes me very, very excited. And that movie comes out next year, if the world keeps spinning. Here's hoping. We're also getting a Willow sequel. And Jon Stewart is directing. This came out last week, and I missed it somehow, and I'm a big Willow fan, so I thought it was worth mentioning. Willow is getting a sequel. I don't know who's coming back. I don't know if we're getting more Warwick Davis. I doubt we're going to get more Val Kilmer. I think I wore this in honor of Val Kilmer today. This is my Top Gun shirt because I was inverted. I'm a huge Val Kilmer fan, but we're getting a Willow sequel. I think it's smart for Disney to adapt live action to live action instead of just live actioning all of their animated, but I'm very hopeful that this Willow sequel is in the spirits of the first one. I think that whimsical, modern, more adult fantasy is a beautiful way for Disney to appeal to broader demographics. That like Princess Bride, Labyrinth, Willow flavor, you don't see a lot of movies like that right now. So I think this is a really cool opportunity for them to find another one of those, and I think Jon Stewart is a fantastic director. So Jon and Stewart directing a Willow sequel at Disney. Exciting news. We also got confirmation earlier in the week, 5 days ago, late last week, The Batman was filming through 2021. So them going back to film, remember they'd only filmed about 20% when we saw that footage. So through at least February 2021, Colin Farrell is filming, which means there could be a lot more filming after that. So what I'm hoping, and I talked about this before, is I want a 4-hour Batman movie. That's not likely to happen. But what I'm hoping is that the time off was actually able to enhance the experience, and they let them have more time to breathe in these additional days of filming that were put on pause from before. So expect more Batman filming stuff through at least the first quarter of 2021, which is very exciting because it's one of the few movies that every paparazzi photo I'm just like pouring over. I'm so excited. I rarely look at paparazzi stuff because I hate the job. I don't like paparazzi, the people. But every image I'm so excited about. They're filming in Chicago right now, and Batman and Catwoman on motorcycles, just their stunt doubles. I'm like, tell me more. All the little set decor that's on the streets, like seeing the word Gotham written, I get stupid excited. So The Batman, as you guys may know, is my most anticipated property, period, of anything coming out in the future, and everything I see I get more excited about. So I'm excited to watch lots and lots of silly, grainy footage between now and February 2021, so I can watch that movie in 2022 with peak hype. It's coming. Last bit of news is that I sat down with Al Ewing on Sunday. You guys, being fans of the show, probably know I talk about Immortal Hulk so much that I can't recommend it on comic book shopping anymore because I recommended it to too many guests. It's just one of those books that I really love, and I think is super available for any kind of reader, whether you like horror or not, whether you like superhero comics or not. It's very biblical in tone. It's got a huge scope. It's genius. It's a fantastic book. Al Ewing is the writer of Immortal Hulk, as well as Empire, as well as We Only Find Them When They're Dead. He's worked with the Avengers a bunch, Mighty Avengers, New Avengers, Ultimates. Al Ewing's a genius. I sat down with Al Ewing, with Amy Dallin, on Sunday. It's over on Baltimore Comic-Con's YouTube page. I was super busy that Sunday, so I only got to do one panel, but I was like, yeah, with Amy, let's make this happen. So bright and early on Sunday. If you guys check out their YouTube, it's the 10 a.m. slot, so it's the second interview in the Sunday, so I think that's like day 3. Just look up Baltimore Comic-Con, look at their YouTube pages, look for the Al Ewing interview. I think it's the second interview of day 3, and it's myself, Amy Dallin, little Collider Heroes reunion. It was a lot of fun, and I got to talk to a man who doesn't do that many interviews. It is a very, very good time. Al Ewing was lovely. Immortal Hulk is fantastic. Check it out, if nothing else, for the me and Amy team up nostalgia. So I'd like to thank Baltimore Comic-Con and Mainframe Comic-Con who brought me on for that. It was an honor. It was a privilege. I look forward to working with them more in the future. It was so rad. So check it out. Al Ewing, it was dope. All right, speaking of comic books, This week is a giant week in comic books. Tomorrow is so many books that I am looking forward to, so I'm going to read the ones that I am most excited to read tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll be checking out, and I know DC releases their comics today, but I consider Wednesday New Comic Book Day. Don't be offended if you get your DC books today. I just think of Wednesday as Comic Book Day. Okay, so tomorrow for me. Action Comics number 1026, Ascender 14, Amazing Spider-Man 51, Batgirl number 50, Batman Superman 13, Batman the Three Jokers number 3, Black Widow's Sting number 1, Dead Body Road Bad Blood number 5, Department of Truth number 2, I'm so excited to pick that one up, issue 1 was genius, Detective Comics number 1029, Doctor Doom number 8, Fantastic Four Antithesis number 3, Immortal Hulk number 39, John Constantine Hellblazer number 11. I think this is the last issue of this whole run, and I'm so heartbroken. I don't think the graphic novel sold enough to save the series, but Simon Spurrier's Hellblazer is genius, and this is the last issue. Legion of Superheroes number 10, Runaways 32, Runaways is back after a long hiatus due to COVID, Savage Avengers 13, Sex Criminals 69, giggity. That is the final issue of Sex Criminals. That is the end of the run. Sex Criminals 69 drops tomorrow. Shang-Chi number 2, Spider-Man Noir number 5, Strange Academy number 4, Suicide Squad number 10, Undiscovered Country number 9, Wonder Woman 765, and X of Swords Stasis number 1. All of those books are tomorrow. Big ol' week of comics. I am very, very excited. So I'll be picking up the lion's share of those, both in digitally and in print, and I'll be reading those through the week. And then on Friday's show, I will be doing my favorite of those comics on Friday's show to tell you which ones I enjoyed the very most. Now, this Friday is Devil's Night, so I'll be watching The Crow afterward. But between now and Friday, I am dropping a brand new review for the great John Getz, the patron of reviewing things alongside AJ Lancaster. John Getz had me watch Overlord, which is like a military horror film, which I enjoyed way more than I usually do of that genre, the horror genre. And I'll be reviewing that and dropping that on YouTube probably tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going to be doing a watch-along in honor of Ash Singh and Michael McCarcel, the great Michael McCarcel, the great Ash Singh. We're going to be watching Cabin in the Woods. Now, Michael McCarcel is actually working at a haunted house while we watch Cabin in the Woods, which I thought was beautifully ironic. But Thursday night, probably around 7 p.m., so 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, Cabin in the Woods, full feature-length audio commentary. Let's get in the spooky spirit. Let's Halloween up. Let's have some beers. Let's watch Cabin in the Woods Thursday right here on this YouTube page. I'm very excited, and that is thanks to those patrons that are in my watch-along tier, Ash and Michael, who I appreciate very, very much. Thursday. And then Friday, I need to talk to Jenny because she's available, and I don't know if I am or not, but we might be doing another comic books and craft beer, and then we will also be doing a Koi Cubed where I talk about these comics, but also that might be my last Friday show of Koi Cubed for a bunch of reasons. One, I've got a big announcement that I hope I can make on Friday that is a brand new show. We is someone you guys like me working with. It's not Amy Dolan, she's got other stuff. I'm working with someone, and we are going to announce it soon, and it's a brand new show. So Friday, hopefully, if all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, I can announce what the new show is. It's a big one. It's something that's been developing for a long time. I'm very excited about it, and I think I can announce it Friday, but that means my schedule is too stacked to do twice-a-week shows, and every time I've done a twice-a-week show, I've lost about 12 followers a week through October, and I've only gained 1 or 2 followers a week, so I'm like hemorrhaging followers, so clearly it's not working for a lot of people. Too many notifications, I guess. So we're going to be going down to 1 Koi Cubed a week, but yes, Ian, begin speculation. What is the new show? And it's like a whole thing. And with that announcement, I'm hoping I can announce some other stuff down the pipeline. So stuff is coming, and I'm very excited about it, and we're moving and grooving. So there is a reason of Koi Cube going back to once a week, and I will probably go back to a little over an hour episodes. I will not shortchange you guys on news. It's likely to be Tuesday, but all of that's going to come to fruition on Friday. So Friday, Koi Cubed, and hopefully comic books and craft beer. Thursday, watch along of the glorious Cabin in the Woods. Wednesday, Overlord review. Lots of content coming at you. And if you guys want to watch more than just my face talking at you, my streaming recommendations for this week going into the beginning of November. So starting Sunday, you're going to have a whole new slate of stuff on streaming. And streaming, I love the beginning of the month because you get all the movies and stuff. So the ones that I'm most excited for coming at you on streaming, starting on Sunday, you get Boys in the Hood, Casper, Easy A, Platoon, The Impossible, and The Indian in the Cupboard are my most coveted. That's over on Netflix. All those are coming on Netflix. Very excited about it. On Hulu, we're getting Born 1 through 3, Stoked to watch those again. I actually have them on Blu-ray. I can watch them anytime, but Hulu's getting all the Bourne movies, and except the Jason Bourne with Mr. Renner. Over on Amazon, they're getting Dead Poets Society, genius Robin Williams film. Platoon, again, I haven't seen Platoon, so I wrote it down twice, 2 different networks. Step Up, I'm a sucker for dance movies. The Expendables 1 through 3, W. Wall Street, I've never seen Wall Street. And You Got Served, again, sucker for dance movies. Those are coming over to Amazon as of Sunday the 1st. Disney Plus gets The Mandalorian on Friday, as you know, 10:30 Mandalorian Season 2. That's my big streaming rec for Disney Plus. And then finally, HBO Max, which I'm telling you, it's like Blockbuster, but streaming. There's so much goodness over there. HBO Max, Dead Man Walking, High Fidelity, Mystic River, and National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon #1 coming at you on Sunday, November 1st. Those are my streaming recs. Those are my comic recs. I love the speculation going on in the chat. Will the Thrill Gaming says, awesome dude, I appreciate you. Jesus, one of the Marvel Movie News people coming with this new show. I can't tell you, I can't narrow it down. It's someone I work with. Well, it's someone I've worked with before. I can't narrow it down anymore. There's only like 40 people I consistently work with. You'll see Friday, but I like the speculation. I will say that no one has guessed it yet. So all of these names listed, you'll see on Friday. So guys, between now and Friday, I want you to speculate. Let me know what show it might be. Let me know what guest it might be. Let me know, not guest, what person I'm hosting with. Let me know all your theories. I'm very, very excited. Sahil, I have not worked with Joseph Gordon-Levitt since 2015. Wow, I haven't seen Joe in like 5 years. I would love to do a show hosting with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but unfortunately, that is not in the cards just yet. Jesus! Gonna start doing live streaming on Instagram with my cousin reviewing Mandalorian Season 2 and maybe thoughts on the last Ronin issues. Oh, that's dope! Hey, everybody, check out Jesus Gastelum's Instagram. He's gonna be doing live streams with his cousin. They're gonna talk about Mandalorian Season 2 every week, I assume, and the last Ronin issues, and the dude reads a lot of really good comics. Check that out. Jesus, I assume your name is the same on Instagram. I'm plugging your Instagram for you, but I'm hoping I'm doing it right. Jesus Gastelum, like spelled like JesusGastelum. Hunt him down on Instagram. He's going to be doing commentary on The Mandalorian. All right, I'm going to wrap this bad boy up. This whole time, my Streamlabs wouldn't open. So I've been using just the chat and hoping I could tell what was going on as we went along. I'm going to try one last time to get the Streamlabs to open. I don't think I missed any because I think I was able to keep track on the right. But just in case... Oh, it's loading now! Look at that go! All right, we had one before the show started from the great Michael McCarsell. Michael McCarsell just wished us well and left a Streamlab saying he couldn't make it, like an absolute sweetheart. It was very kind. Michael McCarsell, when you watch this replay, know that I appreciate you, know that I'm excited for Cabin in the Woods, and know that I'm jealous that you're working at a haunted house. All of those things. All right, guys, we talked Moon Knight. We talked Jon Stewart. We talked Marvel. We talked DC. We talked Matt Damon. We talked lots and lots of good stuff. And now you guys can theorize what's coming between now and Friday. I hope to see you all for the Cabin in the Woods watch along. It is streaming on HBO and I think maybe Amazon. It's streaming, I just don't remember which service it's on. So Thursday, Cabin in the Woods. I hope to see you guys there. I'm gonna bring some beers. I'm gonna bring some knowledge. I'm gonna bring some zeal. I will see you all Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, one of those days. All right, I'm just stalling. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm not wrapping this show. I'm gonna wrap the show. All right, I'll see you guys soon. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, as always, to Comic Books for existing. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate you. It's on Hulu. Before I leave, it's on Hulu. Ian. And, go fucking vote. Thanks. I'll see you guys soon.